Hello, welcome to my channel. This video is part of a series that I'm doing that goes along with the Beaches and Books Readathon that is hosted by these fine ladies. I'm gonna read them off my list. Paperback and Ponytails, Creatively Faithful, Christian Faith and Fiction, The Lucy Chronicles, and Celestria. So those ladies put together a Beaches and Books Readathon for 2024, and I just kind of jumped in with that with books for middle grade. And so in previous videos, I explained what middle grade books are, some recommendations, and then my reading list for this readathon. So in this video and the videos to come, I'm just gonna give a review of the books that I read. So the first book that I'm going to talk about today is actually following prompt 1, and the prompt for this was to get a book from the library. So I did do it a little bit differently. I did not get a book from the library. I just moved to this area, and it was just easier to go to the bookstore and do that. So it's filling that prompt, but it's just a book from the bookstore, and it is the Bookwanders. And so what I'm going to do in each of these videos is I'm going to give you the title of the book, the author, the reading level. The reading level I'm going to use is accelerated reader, because my hunch is the people who watch this video are going to be the people I know, and that's what my former students is the program that they used, was accelerated reader. So I'm going to just use that. And then I'll give the genre, a brief synopsis. I'm going to read a few passages from the book, and then just kind of end with some final thoughts. So we're just gonna kind of go in that order. So the first is the Bookwanders, and the author is Anna James, and it is a 5.8 book level. So that means that the average 5th grader in the 8th month of school would be able to read this book independently with comprehension. And it is a fantasy. So I did type out my review, and I'm just gonna read that. So it says, this story follows Matilda, who goes by Tilly, and her good friend Oscar. Tilly's father has died, and her mother mysteriously disappeared. She now lives with her grandparents in their bookstore, Pages & Co., which is located in London. Everything seemed normal until one day she sees her grandparents hosting mysterious guests who appear one moment and are gone the next. Things really take a turn when Tilly goes upstairs one day, only to find Alice, yes, Alice from Wonderland, sitting on her sofa, who says to her, "Ah, I have been waiting for you. Would you like to go to a tea party?" Now, I mean, if that doesn't get you wrapped in, I don't know what will. Okay, so from there, the book takes some fantastical twists and turns. Tilly learns of her own magical ability to portal in and out of books, while also, like her grandparents, host characters from books in real life that we live in, that she lives in London. So luckily, she does not have to go on these adventures alone. She is able to go with her good friend Oscar, who I mentioned at the beginning, who also has the same ability to bookwander, to enter into these books, go on adventures, and come out of the books without disrupting the storyline. So Oscar has this ability also, and together they survive Long John Silver and his pirates aboard the Hispaniola from Treasure Island, Mr. Phillips from Anne of Green Gables, and most importantly, they are able to together survive the evil plans of the under-librarian Enoch Chalk. So this book is loaded with adventures and mysteries. It has a mystery that runs throughout the whole book, the mystery of where did her mother go and why did she disappear? And of course, our main character, Tilly, and her good friend, Oscar, are determined to figure out where her mother went and to bring her back. But it also is loaded with tons of references from classic literature that you may or may not have read. So I mentioned Treasure Island, but also Anne of Green Gables, of course, and Alice in Wonderland. And those are just a few of them, but there's references to books all throughout. And so if you haven't read those, oh, The Little Princess, that is one of the main ones. If you haven't read those, it really makes you want to go back and read them. But also it will probably enrich your experience a little bit more if you have read those, because you'll understand those scenes when the characters go back or wander into the book and live through those scenes. It will make more sense to you if you've read the books. So a few direct quotes, and I wanted to do this because I think it like gives a little bit of a feel of the author's tone, their style of writing, and just hearing a few passages can help you think like if this book is for you or not. So I'm just going to read 2 quick passages with some of the messages in the book and the style of writing that you would experience if you choose to read this book. So this first part is Tilly, and she is talking to her granddad here, who, if you remember, that's who she lives with because her dad has passed and her mom has disappeared. So her granddad is telling her about her mom's favorite books. And he says, yes, well, her favorites when she was growing up, referring to Tilly's mother. These were the ones that meant a lot to her when she was around your age. The books we love when we're growing up shape us in a special way, Tilly. The characters in the books we read help us decide who we want to be. So I thought that was great, and that theme carries on, and I'll read this quote too further into the book. This time, Oscar and Tilly are in the underlibrary, which you will discover what that is if you read the book, and they're talking to the head librarian, Amelia, and she says, I'm sure I don't need to tell you two how powerful books are. Books can change minds and change worlds, open doors and open minds, and plant seeds that grow into magical or even terrifying things. Stories are the things to be loved and respected at the same time. Never underestimate the power of them. So, this book is very, very fun. If those quotes kind of sounded fun to you, you would probably enjoy the book. I loved the concept. I thought the concept was brilliant, especially for book lovers. However, there are a few twists and turns that were a little bit weird, even for me, and I like a good fantasy, but I don't think it disqualified anything from the book. I think it's still fun and would be enjoyed by many people. And I hope that if it sounds like a fun book for you, that you go pick that up from your library or your bookstore as well. I'll see you in another video with another book review. Bye.